We've all been there. You grab your water bottle, lace up your boots, maybe stuff a protein bar in your pocket, and excitedly hit the trail, ready for adventure. Maybe a friend recommended the trail, or a ranger, or maybe you just stumbled upon an intriguing trailhead, took a quick look at the faded map on the parking lot signage and thought, yeah, let's do this. And then you did. Except a quarter mile in, the trail started going straight up. Or an hour later, you still haven't reached the lake you've heard about. Or you're bored out of your mind because the path is the straightest, flattest, widest trail you've ever seen. Maybe you're running out of water. Or you wish you had your trekking poles. Or you didn't bring enough snacks. Whatever the situation, this is definitely not the hike you signed up for. Why isn't it as enjoyable as you'd hoped? Because you're doing it wrong. That's why. Picking a hiking trail, that is. Yep, that's right. There's a right and wrong way to select the perfect path for every outing. And even we've picked the wrong ones from time to time, which is a bummer, because best case, you just have a crappy time in the great outdoors, and worst case, you put yourself in danger because you've come into the wilderness totally underprepared. The good news? That's almost entirely avoidable. So here's how to be better at selecting a route for your next adventure. For starters, if you're just listening to the recommendations of others and taking them at their word that this or the other trail is just the best one ever, you're doing it wrong. Because frankly, great is totally subjective. I might think a great trail consists of hard climbs and summit views, but you might prefer easy trails with waterfalls or where you can identify weird fungus. I don't know, you do you. So if you get a hiking recommendation, don't take the recommender at their word. Ask some dang questions. Like, I don't know, how many miles is it? How long did it take you? What's the trailside mushroom tally? That'll help you figure out if it's actually a trail you'll enjoy. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't ask for or consider others' recommendations. We frequently ask friends and rangers and gear shop employees for their favorite trails in the area. But when we ask, we specify what we want, like trails with views or swimming holes or no crowds. That way there's a better chance we'll have the hiking experience we had in mind. Next, and this is a big one, check a dang map. And not just for the route or the length of the trail in miles. I can't tell you how many times we've passed people on trails who didn't realize what they were getting themselves into simply because they didn't look at the details of the route on a map. And let me tell you, most of them did not look very pleased about it. So yes, check to see how many miles the trail is, but also things like elevation gain, because a mile on a flat, shady path is not the same as a mile straight up a slippery boulder field. One might take you 30 minutes, the other an hour and a half, and that means you could easily get stuck in the woods after dark, run out of food or water way sooner than you thought, or even just fail to enjoy the scenery because you're frustrated with your progress. How do you locate these details? Some maps will offer descriptions of the trails, occasionally even with estimates of how long it might take to complete them. Sometimes even difficulty ratings. Others, like USGS topographic maps, indicate all of those details and more, like when you'll cross snowfields, hike into valleys, summit mountains, you name it, via topo lines. Now, map reading is a whole skill all its own, but if you at least learn the basics, you'll be able to see what you're getting into just by glancing at a map. So I recommend learning how topo lines work. And always bring a map. Know how far you're going and what to expect when it comes to elevation gain and loss. Another way to really ruin a hike? Neglect to check trail conditions. This is a big one, especially after inclement weather. Snow and rain can block or close trails and make them entirely impassable without snowshoes or spikes. Heavy rains can flood creek crossings or turn trails into rivers. And on the flip side, drought conditions can mean a hike to a waterfall or swimming hole is actually just a hike to a cliff or a rocky hole in the ground. Then there are mudslides, detours, even straight up closed trails and trailheads, be they seasonal closures or temporary closures for maintenance or what have you. Why doesn't matter if you get to a trailhead or halfway down the trail and realize it's either off limits or you came woefully underprepared for the conditions. Say if a canyon creek crossing is currently, get it, currently. A river and you have to turn back, or an unexpected rock slide has obscured the path and you're not sure where to go. Or like we did at Smoky Mountains National Park not that long ago. You drive 30 minutes to a trailhead just to find out it's currently reservation only to reduce overcrowding. Yeah, that was frustrating. And it could have been avoided if we would have just checked the website or chatted with a ranger. Other situations can be dealt with by bringing extra socks, or knowing when to hike clockwise instead of counterclockwise. It's a thing, okay, trust me. Because listen, being outside is more fun when you're prepared and expectations are set at a reasonable level. So stop doing it wrong. Realize when you do it and learn from it. Listen, I'm definitely gonna remember to check for reservation requirements from now on. Other tips between you and me? Get yourself a navigation app like All Trails or Gaia. They can absolutely help solve a lot of these problems and more by offering not only maps, but trail descriptions, photos, reviews, even elevation changes and topography details so you can be more prepared. I mean, both apps have totally free versions, so I don't know why everybody doesn't have them. Honestly. In any case, you can totally stop doing it wrong now that you know how to pick the perfect trail for you. As in, you personally. You as an individual. You unique snowflake. Anyway, if you have any questions about finding a hiking trail that we didn't answer, feel free to drop it in the comments. Or if you have your own tips, go for it. We love chatting with you guys. Then give this here video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, which hopefully you did. Otherwise, what am I even doing here? Then hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any future outdoorsy guides, how-tos, and gear reviews. And check out Terradrift.com for even more content that you won't find here on YouTube. And come follow along with all of our adventures on Insta, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Terradrift on all of them. And as always, thanks for watching. You guys are the best. Now get out there, enjoy every hike, and wander on.